Good morning and good afternoon, visitors to the Accela webinar for Better Government with the Civic Cloud. This is Rob Cassetti speaking to you. I'm the Vice President of Sales for North America, and we're broadcasting from our headquarters in San Ramon. And this morning, actually we've got folks from all over the country, so it's morning here in California, but afternoon for some participants. So what we'll cover today, we'll do a brief welcome here, and then we'll get into the substance of the webinar. We're talking about better government with the Civic Cloud. On April 23rd, Accela announced the Civic Cloud, and we'll tell you what that means in our effort to deliver better solutions for civic engagement. And finally, we'll have a demonstration. Accela's really demonstrated a lot of innovation, resulting in some really great productivity tools for our customer base. And you'll have a chance to see some of those great tools, particularly in the mobility space, on how our customers today are using mobility applications and tools developed by Accela to increase their efficiency for the constituents they serve. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about some special offers that came with the announcement of the Accela Civic Cloud, opportunities for your municipalities, cities, counties, boards, and so forth to take advantage of Accela's most recent subscription offers. And finally, we'll leave time at the end for a Q&A session. And that's me on the left, Rob Cassetti, and I'll be joined by Jeff Stiles from our marketing team, and Ken Sawtell will lead our demonstration. Okay, I'm going to hand off now to Jeff Stiles from our marketing team.
Well, welcome everyone. I really appreciate you joining us. And by the way, I'm the middle one in that picture you just saw. I'm the older, fatter, not as good-looking version of Rob Cassetti. In any case, what are you going to learn today? First, we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in governing. It's a fascinating time in this industry, and I think for me, coming to Accela about 5 months ago, I've learned a lot about what's happening in this industry, what some of the implications are for folks like you, and I'm going to share some of my experiences. I've been in the software industry for 25 years, working across many different industries. My last team, we went to market in 24 different industries. Had some interesting learnings that we'll share with you, and I think that they're very applicable in this space right now. So we're going to talk about governing and how that's changing. We're going to talk about, as Rob mentioned, the Civic Cloud and how we can help you to quickly streamline and accelerate not only civic functions, but how you engage with your citizens, with businesses in your community, and with industry professionals. And then, as Rob mentioned, we'll talk a little bit about a special offer that we're making available for all of you today as well. First, for those of you who don't know Accela, maybe just a thumbnail sketch. Accela has been in the business of serving government agencies and driving excellence in civic processes for over 30 years. We're known for customer success, for making our agency customers very successful in their deployment of our solutions. Over 500 agencies use Accela solutions today, and that's agencies large and small. I think perhaps one of the more important things, though, to note is, our services are not only enjoyed and addressing government requirements. We're also serving citizens, over 75 million citizens, in the context of thousands of services and millions of transactions. So I guess the reason I tell you that, we're an organization that's strong, stable, well-managed, and has a history of driving your success. We're also, I think, at a very interesting inflection point in the industry, and we're going to talk about, again, how we're evolving and expanding to serve your needs. You see just a thumbnail sketch, again, of some of our clients. Again, these are agencies, large and small, New York, City of Oakland. There's so many different types of agencies and sizes of agencies that, we're very fortunate to serve. And again, we look forward to having the opportunity to talk with you about your needs as well. So with that, let's turn to really kind of part of that interesting story about what's happening, not only in this industry, but around governing at large. I think it's fair to say that, you're under tremendous pressure, and we've heard from a lot of you around, the need to better serve your citizens, your communities. No longer are folks going to be comfortable or satisfied standing in line, queuing, to be able to provide input into, a town council or into, particular issues. Citizens expect to be able to interact with their government, to consume government services when and where they are, 24/7, and at their convenience. And that's putting tremendous pressure on all of you in terms of how you provision those services, how you make them available, and indeed how you engage with those citizens. Gavin Newsom recently released a book called Citizenville, and if you haven't had a chance to read it or to learn about a synopsis of it, I really strongly recommend it. In it, he really focuses on the implications of cloud computing specifically and what that means to governing. And his primary premise that cloud computing and other major trends around mobile and social will fundamentally change the way that governing happens is something that we share. We do believe that ubiquity, access, sharing, collaboration, and connection are part of civic engagement. And so it's not just about bringing cloud computing to you to serve your needs. It's about also being able to serve the needs of your constituents. I mentioned social, mobile, and cloud. I think one of the most fundamental changes that we're seeing, and I've seen this again across multiple industries, is the expectations of your constituents. These are folks who have either learned how to use mobile devices and to collaborate and communicate leveraging social networking, or they've grown up with that. And they have fundamental expectations about not only what they can do on a particular device, but also what that means in terms of service that they should be able to receive and consume. So it's fair to say that social and mobile and cloud computing as technologies are interesting, and they have the ability to change economically the cost of your service or your accessibility to certain types of services. But don't underestimate the implications in terms of the expectations of your citizens and what you can now do by leveraging those technologies in the right way to better serve them. Let me just run a very quick video to give you a summary of kind of our view of the overall picture of what's happening in governing and what that means to our organization, because that'll help you to understand our perspective and what has driven us to go ahead and launch the Civic Cloud.
We're faced with a new reality. The town hall model is changing. We know that people and businesses prosper in places where it's easier to engage government through mobile devices, apps, social media, and open data. Citizens expect access to government and services 24/7, 365. And similarly, governments, large and small, prosper when they make it easier for citizens to engage, for businesses to open and operate, for building and government to spur economic growth. Government needs to connect to the way people work and live. We need to bring town hall directly to Main Street. Accela can help you with that. Accela provides the leading civic engagement platform, powering thousands of services and millions of transactions daily for large and small public agencies worldwide. We connect government directly to people and businesses and streamline processes, including land management, licensing, asset management, and public health and safety. Accela is the right choice for agencies seeking to improve government and community engagement, for partners building their government businesses, and for citizens looking to have a voice in improving government and their communities. Accela, civic excellence, civic engagement, civic good.
Those three terms, civic excellence, civic engagement, and civic good, really add up to answer the question, why Accela? We have a history of focusing on driving excellence in your core revenue producing or cash collecting or asset managing type processes. We're now focusing on systematically extending those processes to the folks that need to participate in them. And by the way, when we talk about citizen engagement or civic engagement, we're not just talking about citizens. We also are talking about businesses and industry professionals and so on. And by doing that, by helping you to streamline and accelerate your core processes, by enabling you to extend those through mobile devices and social networks and so on to the constituents you need to serve, we believe that we can help you to improve how you govern and in the meantime also drive a little bit of civic good. So with that, let me give you some perspective on what has led us to launch the Civic Cloud that Rob mentioned earlier. First of all, we have a history and we're very proud of our ability to serve both very large and small agencies, including state, federal, as well as county type agencies. We absolutely intend to continue and extend that history of serving all types and all sizes of agencies. But one of the things that we've learned about cloud computing and that we've heard from many of you is that by bringing cloud-based solutions that are easy to learn about, easy to license, easy to deploy, we can better serve the needs of a lot more smaller agencies. And so I think it's fair to say that our business strategy is to continue to serve all types and sizes of agencies, but to really also expand our ability to serve smaller agencies who have traditionally not had a whole lot of great options because of cost or of infrastructure or people or what have you. So again, cloud computing can kind of level the playing field where smaller agencies who haven't traditionally had the same kind of resources as larger agencies now have access to some of those powerful capabilities. So what is this thing called the Civic Cloud? Well, at its elemental level, it's a platform, solutions, and apps. And we're going to talk about each one of those different layers. So first of all, platform computing is a really important notion, not only in terms of being able to bring cloud-based solutions to you, but also in terms of bringing a business model to a lot of the innovation that's happening already around cities and jurisdictions, not only through North America, but around the globe. There's a lot of civic hacking and the open data movement, fantastic stuff. What's it been missing? A business model. And a platform-based business model brings that. Now, I've seen this in multiple different industries, in financial services, in manufacturing, and others, where bringing a platform-based model for the people who are developing apps helps them to systematically build their businesses. And that also then broadens the availability of and the capabilities of the apps that are available for all of you. So platform is foundational. It's very important. Accela Automation is the heart of the Civic platform. It's surrounded by 4 key sets of services: core services, configuration, information, and developer services. And while we won't go into all those today, if you want to learn more about the platform or the components, please visit www.accela.com, where we have a lot of detail. You can actually navigate through this graphic and learn about what those platform services are, for example. Now, on top of the platform, we deliver a series of solutions. Those solutions are either tailored or packaged. And I think one of the pieces of important news for all of you is the introduction of 3 new packaged solutions as our first packaged solutions entry into this market. We're delivering, as of April 23rd, planning and zoning, permitting and inspection, and code enforcement as a packaged solution. What is that? It's pre-configured based on what we've learned from agencies like yours about best practices in each of those areas. And with that, we package content in the form of reports and the other capabilities that you need to be able to manage those processes. They're surrounded then by quick start services, meaning they're faster to deploy, more cost-effective to deploy, and the overall implication being that these types of package solutions really can address the needs of a lot of more agencies. And we see that as a very important dynamic. And again, I've seen this in multiple industries over the last 5 or 6 years, where this notion of industrializing the deployment of solutions, cloud-based solutions in this case, I think we're at the point where I guess there's a bit of a tipping point in the government space where there's a receptivity to cloud-based solutions, and now we have, I think, a great offering that kind of fits those folks' needs. So again, today we have provide 3 different package solutions around land management. We intend to expand the number of those solutions beyond land management into licensing and case management, asset management, and public health and safety. It's a big part of our business strategy, working with our business partners and also supporting regional configurations. We'll get more into that a little bit later, but one of the things that we see are multi-jurisdiction collaboration around configuring a solution to the needs of the individual jurisdictions. That I think leads to, again, lower cost, faster deployment, and broader consumption. Now, on top of solutions, we have a series of apps extending those solutions to the folks that need them. Now, the first of those folks that need them are probably agency personnel. We deliver a series of productivity apps, and Ken will show you one of those in a little bit. These are mobile solutions that really are focused on people in particular roles, delivering them all the transactions, the content, analytics, information capabilities that they need to do their jobs more effectively and drive productivity. On April 23rd, we also announced an expansion of our focus on citizen engagement. Now, those of you who know Accela know that we've provided Accela Citizen Access for a long time. And again, Ken will show you what that is all about. It's web-based access to citizens to core civic functions. We also now are providing, we launched a beta with our Civic Hero application and announced a partnership with SeeClickFix to extend service management and service request capability to a broader set of citizens. Again, philosophically, our strategy is to expand the use of the platform capabilities that we provide. We want citizens to be able to not only report incidents or issues, but also to be able to connect them directly to the things that matter in their interactions with government, whether that be permitting or licensing or what have you. Now, there's another type of app that we've seen that's very interesting, and that's, I call them community apps. And these are apps that bring, public data together with community input, feedback, interaction. On April 23rd, one of our partners, Civic Insight, announced Civic Industries announced the general availability of their Civic Insight app. I call this out because it's notable for a couple of reasons. This application was built by a group of Code for America fellows for the city of New Orleans. Really interesting problem they were trying to solve around blighted properties after Hurricane Katrina. And what they did was bring together land management information. They allowed folks in the community to comment on these properties, and it helped New Orleans to set policy and practice around how to manage those blighted properties. Well, what's the challenge for the folks that developed that app? How do I bring that to other communities? That's the beauty of platform computing. Because it was built upon the Accela platform, it's easy for them to provide that same set of capabilities if you have blighted properties you need to manage in your community. That, again, expands the capabilities that are available to you in terms of managing your core civic functions. So with that, why don't I turn it over to Ken Sautel to give us a brief overview of some of the engagement apps and capabilities that we're able to provide you. Ken?
Thanks, Jeff. We'll briefly touch on, in 2 areas, productivity app as well as an engagement app. And on the productivity side, of course, this is an example of one of our many apps that are available on the App Store, both for Apple as well as for Android and also Windows phone and tablets. Let me go ahead and share my iPad right now. And the first one we're going to take a peek at is Accela Inspector. Now what you're seeing on the screen right now is the actual login screen. Two reasons why I'd like you to see this. There's a button there that's called Preview. Really proud of this button. Just like our software that we love so much, we're really excited to share this with you. First of all, the app is free. You can download it today. Second of all, you just touch the Preview button, and you too can enjoy all the benefits from a preview standpoint of Accela Inspector and understand just what this means to productivity in the agency. So in this example, I'm going to log in and show you just how quickly, as an inspector, I can manage and actually result in inspection. For example, it's as easy as collecting my signatures and passing my inspection. Talk about productivity. Now, automatically, of course, all the automation of the Accela platform, Civic Cloud platform, has occurred, including notifications out to the customer. Indeed, not so unlike getting your UPS or FedEx package at the door and immediately your phone buzzes, your smartphone buzzes with your notification that you've received it. Same thing with Accela. And of course, any other automation that's occurred. Many times with agencies, productivity includes the need to, for example, reschedule a follow-up inspection or assess additional fees accordingly. So right in front of us, let's take a little bit more time and take a peek at what it means for that inspector. By the way, this is one of many productivity apps, including, of course, Code Officer and Work Crew for other aspects that are very task-specific. So in this case, I'm a building inspector, and let's take a look at my capabilities from a mapping perspective. One thing that I may find really important is to pull in my agency maps. These are the maps that are very specific to the jurisdiction that I work for. My city or my county maintains their own map services, and I can have access to that information readily. Let's drill in real quick and take a peek at another inspection. A complete history of the particular permit. In this case, it's a residential building permit, including any historic inspections and activities. And the ability, of course, for this, a temporary pole inspection, to bring back a list of required checklist items, the things that I'm required to inspect as an inspector in the field. I'm actually at the home inspecting this T-pole, and I can easily sort through my various requirements, complete them, and move forward. And of course, the ability to snap a picture of what I'm actually witnessing. I'm going to go ahead and choose an existing photo since I'm actually in the office right now. And we'll take a picture of a temporary pole that we're taking on site. It's really this simple. I'm able to quickly go through all the requirements of my inspection activity, result my inspection, and ensure that all my automation has occurred, my customer's been notified, and they can move forward with the next step. Now, moving forward with regards to other apps, let's take a look at citizen engagement. And by the way, that particular T-pole you noticed was on Stonecrest Boulevard. As a citizen, we're going to take a look at that same permit and see how we're also notified through a citizen engagement app. This is an example of a fictitious city, and if you can see here, there's many different capabilities. For example, with one touch, I can complain about an abandoned vehicle. But let's go ahead and log in so that we can actually move forward and show what it means and how easy it is for a citizen to apply for a new permit. Now, in this case, I'm going to touch my Facebook login button. Of course, this is for easy login buttons with only one touch that support single sign-on, and that we're all used to as we manage across various apps. We can see here that, of course, I have a couple of items in my shopping cart, but what I want to do is pull my water heater permit. This is going to be really easy. First of all, I've already started it, and I saved it for this meeting. If we take a look here, we'll see that I can resume my water heater permit, and I'll just move forward in the processing. With Accela and our Citizen Access Engagement app, you'll see that we have a very easy-to-follow 5-step process in this case. So as I step through the process, the software is going to remind me where I'm at in the process. Makes it very easy and very quick for me to pull my permit. So it's a brand new water heater permit that I'm pulling, and I've already filled out the applicant and the contractor information. Pretty common permit. And then, of course, the details about this particular water heater. The capacity, my driver's license if needed, even help along the way. This is all about citizen engagement and helping the customer complete on their own that work for applying for a new permit that otherwise would take quite a bit of time going to City Hall. And then as a complete solution for the citizen, you'll see that I'm able to actually pull and complete my permit otherwise. Now, let's take a look at our final permit that we actually scheduled an inspection for. If you recall, using our citizen productivity app, I was able to actually complete that inspection in record time. Let's go take a look at that inspection from the citizen perspective. This is the permit itself. We'll see that, of course, the T-poll was completed this morning at 11:27 Pacific time. I've got all the rest of the information about this application, including the workflow statuses and all the activities that occurred on this. Also, of course, all the electronic documentation, including the permit itself, the building floor plans, and so on. And then since I'm so delighted about how quick this all occurred with the city, I'm going to go ahead and socialize this. With Accela at our platform, of course, citizen engagement includes a social media component. So I'm able to socialize immediately and share the good news with all my followers. So in summary, a productivity application, Accela Inspector, and then Accela Citizen Access to show you two examples of civic engagement with Accela.
Outstanding. Thank you very much, Ken.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Ken. That was a great example of a productivity tool that a building inspector might use inside an agency, and a great example of civic engagement vis-a-vis the customer-facing Accela Citizen Access application in a way that allows a constituent, a home buyer, or homeowner to get a status of their permit or check in on various transactions that they're following for the community that they live in. So great example there. And these tools, among others, are available with our Civic Cloud pricing. And this matrix gives everybody a chance to see. This is our subscription pricing model. And as you can see, what we've tried to accomplish here with our subscription offers, the basic, professional, and enterprise subscriptions, is we're trying to, with a subscription model, give government customers A, predictable pricing model, and B, a scenario and subscription offers that allows them only to purchase what they're using. So if you have fairly rudimentary requirements, for example, you may not require mobility, then the basic solution is perhaps a great fit. If you do indeed require some mobility, you step up to the professional subscription level, and then there's even greater utility in the enterprise model as well. And we can save some time at the end for Q&A because there's quite a lot of data on here. We can certainly come back to this if you want to post a question to the chat window, or we can cover any questions live in the Q&A. We have created a couple of offers, special offers as part of the Civic Cloud launch with some very aggressive pricing that helps you access these subscriptions, hopefully easier with aggressive discounting schedule. The other point that we want to call out here is that Accela is on the GSA schedule that hopefully is a ease of procurement vehicle, contract vehicle that your agencies can leverage. And we have both our perpetual licensing offers for self-hosted deployments, as well as our subscription offers for Accela Civic Cloud hosted solutions as well, or subscriptions as well. So we posted on this slide our GSA schedule contract number, as well as a link to the GSA Advantage schedule as well, where you can see all of the pricing that's available to you on the GSA schedule.
So with that, I think it's important to reiterate what we're looking at in terms of serving you. Not only being able to address your core civic functions cost effectively, but helping you to extend them to the folks that really need to interact with your agency and with your entity. And in the process, really helping you to, drive some civic good. That's a nice slogan and everything, but it was really interesting to me as I've talked with a number of different agencies. A big issue that folks are dealing with is, being easy to do business with, driving economic development, making it easy to open a business. And these are the kinds of things that we mean by civic good. They're not just slogans. They really have to do with improving governing or bettering government through civic engagement. Again, all of the pricing information that Rob showed you, the special offer that we described, is all up on www.accela.com. I really do encourage you to go there and to learn more. Or there's an 800-888 number that you saw a moment ago that we'll repeat in a moment. Again, I encourage you to call folks if you have particular questions. So with that, what I'd like to do is go ahead and open up the lines for questions. You can either pose a question on the phone or go ahead and type it into the chat window, and we'll do our best to respond.